Welcome to another episode of In Your Own Image. My name is Kristen Anderson, and what's coming up today is another reason why how you birth your child is relevant right now. It's crucial right now. And you literally are creating the species with the way that you are birthing, the species being a human, obviously. I hope that was obvious anyway. What's coming up right now is that we're in a time when the young people who are in the birthing era of their lives, many of them are choosing not to have families, not to get married, not to have children. Many of them, not all of them, obviously. So I'm not speaking really to those people. I'm speaking to the people who value family and children, because that is going to proliferate the human being that we are now, but better, because right now we have been systematically prevented really from connecting to our own divinity. And this is why I called this In Your Own Image, because you are in the image of the divine. And so what you create here in your own image is innately divine. So that's why we're not outsourcing that anymore. And I think that's one of the big things that's going to happen in this shift. So you're going to have two forms of humans, right? The humans that are surgical and surgically manipulated, inserted with technology, and that technology is going to sort of replace the human body's innate technology to connect with divinity and source. So you, if you're following this advice at all, are going to be birthing the pure human that will have the ability to connect with the divine on its own without any interface. You are the interface, and I think that's the whole point. So as soon as you start adding things, it can get mucky pretty quickly. It's just like adding Pitocin in the hospital to speed along the opening of the cervix. That is just a slippery slope of intervention. And usually, from what I've read, and like I said before, this is not a statistics show. So if you want to know the stats on that, go Google it. But from what I know, as soon as you get that shot of Pitocin, and your body's just not ready, the baby's not ready, the body's not ready, you enter a intervention waterfall, and the chances of you not having a C-section at that point are pretty low. So this is kind of that same thing, right? So as soon as you intervene in a human being's ability to connect with divinity on its own, it begins this slippery slope of doubt. So you doubt that you can connect. You doubt who you are. You think that some external force is here to save you, and that's the only way that it's going to happen. So what this does is sort of rewrites the code for that inside every human being born in this way, because the memory stays intact of that source connection. So I want to be clear about what we're talking about here. We are talking about a timeline split of the earth and everything on it. And one timeline will be one thing, which is humans that are, I would say, cultivated and sold that way and tinkered with, implanted, that sort of thing. And then you'll have humans that are born from an actual woman in the natural animalistic way. And that's the kind of birth that I'm talking about. And when I see so many young girls and guys who are not interested in having children or even relationships, my son is 15 and he's like, I'm never getting married, never having kids. And, I know a lot of women in their late 20s who are like, nope, that's not for me. I don't want a relationship. I don't want children. Well, definitely that is going to impact our society, because more of our society is going to be this other form of human, which is arriving. It's in the process already. So this isn't anything that we're going to stop. It's just kind of the way it is. So, but for the women who are going to give birth in that way and create a human being that is naturally connected to source, this is the kind of thing that you're going to want to listen to. This is the kind of thing that you're going to want to understand, that your connection, you are already the conduit for a perfect connection. You actually don't need to be tinkered with. So, but humans, we like to tinker with things and explore and create. And so this other form of human will be created, is already created, but it will be more, I say it, but this form of human will be more abundant, I would say, on the planet than the natural human, which is happening now, the pure human. So I'm sort of advocating for the pure human and for humanity and women specifically to really cultivate your innate divine connection and maximize the potential of that. And the most potent crucible for that is when you are giving birth. You are going to maximize that connection. You are going to experience something so magical that once you tinker with it, you won't be able to get that back. That there's something so precious about this opportunity that you have. And it's not like anyone missed it before. Now is the time. So this information is coming out exactly when it should for the times that are happening. Humanity has gone through the era that it's gone through, and now we're going into a timeline split and investigating two options here. And so if you are having a child and you do value that love and connection and family and the connection to the divine, then this is probably the way you want to do it, because that is going to create that sort of human being that has that innate connection. Okay, I could go on and on. I feel like I'm going around in circles. I hope you get it. I do tend to go around in circles. So that's just me reiterating a point, which I think is a very crucial point. So I don't mind going back over it again and again, especially since this is sort of my first time really saying these things out loud to the general public, I would say. I have said these things in private conversations, but not really just out on a platform like this, because it just wasn't time. So now it is time, and it is just such a beautiful opportunity for women right now who are giving birth to have this amazing experience, to cross over and see who your child really is and who you really are. And then you don't have to convince yourself of your capabilities because you will know. And you don't have to convince yourself of the capabilities of your child because you will know. And you won't have to convince yourself of the capabilities of other humans on the planet because you will know who they are and you can feel that resonance in them. I can feel it now with people around me. Anyway, I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments and I will read every single one. And if you found this interesting, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. There will be more. I'm sorry this one is late on this Wednesday, but it was a wild and fun day. It was so gorgeous here in Florida, and so I was just out in the garden restructuring the bird baths so the little birds will come, as I love watching birds. They're so beautiful. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next week and maybe even midweek because I'm starting to feel like information is coming. All right. I will talk to you soon. See you next time. Love and light. Peace out.